where we all went wrong and how not to make those mistakes anymore, or at least minimize it. All right. This chart is currently on my screen is KMI. I believe Jesus had mentioned it Friday. So I was just going through it and see how it looks. Possibilities for it. All right. All right. All right, Mr. Admin. No need to brush your teeth on live. All right. So first thing first, for just this chart here, I'll just go over this one first. KMI mentioned by Jesus. He looks pretty good. This is a weekly chart. Um, just broke out of. Let's see where that is. How far over it goes. So right here. Add this out to my list. So we had something right here. And this right here. So on a weekly, we have a break, as we can see here. 9 EMA and the 15 EMA does seem a little bit away from it, but it does have room to run. I'm not sure if we'll get any big long candles like these green ones, because this is normally how I can, or I guess, if there's going to be a big run. It depends on how close the 9 EMA is to that price action. And as you can see, the close all the way up here at 1948 compared to the 9 EMA, which is at roughly 1830 something. Just a little bit away from it. So we might get a slow move up, but also might see a big candle. Give us a boost, whoever took that play. Let me go back to the daily. Daily look phenomenal. We have volume coming in. I am not really good at judging volume. I normally don't trade off volume, but it's something a couple of the mod mentioned to me, so I just recently started watching it. And we do have earnings coming up though, so we might get an earnings run up. So by the 20th, which is when? When is the 20th? I don't know. Next week is the week of the. Oh, that's Wednesday, actually. Oh, 2 weeks. Okay. 2 weeks from now. We're in the 9th. Okay, we got time. All right. So this chart. So I am going to put my pitchfork on this chart. And again, I am using the auto pitchfork. If you are using TradingView, you can get that auto pitchfork from your indicator list and just type auto pitchfork. And I am using this one here, auto pitchfork fib retracement and zigzag by DGTRD. I think Miss Info had checked and she said, I believe you should be able to use this indicator for free. The reason I like this indicator is that it gives the pitchfork, and it gives a zigzag, which the zigzags are. Oh, let me check if you guys are actually messaging me. Let's keep my phone up. Yep, exactly. All right, so good thing about this auto pitchfork is these dotted lines. If you can't see it very clearly, let me try to zoom in here. These dotted lines, as you can see here, I have them kind of dotted so it's not as prominent on the chart. These are all points I can use for a manual pitchfork. Okay, you confirm it's free. All right, awesome. Awesome. So you guys can use this indicator for free. If you want to use it on TOS, you'd have to manually set it up as it manually draw all these lines. And I'm not even saying manually use the pitchfork like on TradingView. You can just manually select the pitchfork tool. I don't chart on Thinkorswim, so I'm not fully sure. But you could manually draw a pitchfork by draw because these two lines here, these two blue lines, they are parallel lines, just regular parallel lines going from the mean, which is this red line. So pretty much what you're doing is you're finding two major highs and lows that you want to use for your fractal points, and you're going to draw those lines. Let me get a different color. So a major point, let me get rid of the pitchfork. And then the middle, halfway through this line that you drew, you're going to have, ooh, let's see if I can use this line. You're going to have a line going through the center of this line drawn. Has to be the center. But I'm just going to just manually draw it right now. So a manual line going straight through it. And then from this line, you have a parallel line. So a little bit tedious if you have to do it. I suggest just set up a free account on TradingView, and then you can use the free Pitchfork tool and just do your thing. A lot easier, in my opinion. All right, back to this. But as I said, in education, I do have some simple YouTube video. If you scroll through education channel, you should see a very simple video on Pitchfork. But I really want to cover how I use Pitchfork for safely scalping. As I said, I'm not really good at scalping big percentage really, but I can get in and get out with 10, 20, 30% really safely. And this is by following the Pitchfork here. And if you have this auto pitchfork, or if you just manually draw it with the pitchfork tool provided by TradingView, it is a patient game. You have to have patience for this one. If it's on a Weeble. Okay. All right. Yep, there it is. Posted. Same video. Posted in the premium chat. Okay. So using Pitchfork for scalping, you have to be really, really patient. Why? Because you have to wait for it to find those like important fractal points. So let me bring up the SPY and see the price action from Friday. Okay, I have some manual one here. I'm just gonna turn that one off. Okay. So with the auto pitchfork, by changing the time frame, it will automatically just adjust the pitchfork for that time frame. So I like to trade on 5 minute if I don't see a really suitable pitchfork for that time frame. I'll probably drop to a lower time frame to see if I can get a better one. So I'm going to use the 5 minute. Get that card. All right. And the reason why I'm saying it's something you have to be really patient for is you have to wait for the price to set its ranges. So here is Friday, all right? And let me enlarge this chart. Here's Friday. And turn this off for a quick second. All right, so Friday open. Where do we open? We open at 450. And then immediately we sold off. All right. So from 9:30, or well, not exactly. I'm trying to find the right time. So we open with a gap down. So my apologies. We open and gap down. So 447 all the way down to 445-ish something, right? And then we bounce. So this is why you have to be really patient with scalping with Pitchfork, because you're gonna wait for these specific support and resistance. So we got a really significant bounce here. So this here could already be one of your first point you're gonna use to draw a manual pitchfork. Now you could have rolled this if you were trading on some other indicator. It's fine. That's good. Never use just one indicator. Okay. As you can see, I have these lines too, which I need to remove. Probably a little bit confusing. These are all my EMAs. Let's clean the chart up. All right. So we had this bounce, right? Already 1.4 or pitchfork. And then we went up, rejected. We didn't really go down, but you could have also used this point for another fractal point for your pitchfork to be drawn. But we had a bounce, all right? We came up here. Now, this here is a significant bounce. Let me just try to zoom in again. But I'm going to use these first 2 points to draw a pitch. So I am going to use just the manual pitchfork. I'm not going to use the auto one. Just the manual pitchfork. You can find it in the third option from the toolbar to your left on TradingView, right? Open that menu. You see fib retracement, trend-based fib extension, and pitchfork. I like to use the shift pitchfork, so I'm just going to select the shift pitchfork. And we are going to use this point from the previous day, right? And just to ensure that your points are exactly on the candles, turn on your magnet tool, also found in your toolbar to the left. This will ensure that the point snaps to that candle. And as I was saying on my last live, you can use the zoom in tool to ensure. So if you click that zoom in tool, make a little box over whatever you want to view, it will go ahead and zoom into that. So I can go ahead to my magnet tool. My pitchfork is selected. I am going to select this point here from the previous day, which was a significant high. All right. And I'm going to zoom out by clicking the zoom out button. That will take me down. I have another point down here. You can hit that zoom in button again. But since I already have the magnet tool on, I expect it's going to snap to that point. Snaps. I'm going to use this new one that I discovered. So this was the second significant bounce on SPY for the day. I'm going to click to that point. So this here has created my first pitchfork. So now, actually, I could have done this live with you guys. How do I do this again? Oh my gosh. Give me just a second, guys. Let me find this replay. You guys, anybody remember where the replay is on TradingView? Where is it? Where is it? I thought it was right here. Oh, shit. It was right here. My bad. Okay. I'm going to replay this. Hold on. First, I got to select from where I want to do it. How to just jump to... Okay. All right. There we go. That should be it. Let me pause it a little bit. Go back. Okay. I'm going to get rid of the pitchfork. We're going to pretend I want to show this live. So this is Thursday close. All right. We're going to play the chart. So here we go. This is a 5-minute candle right here. So this is out. Are you guys seeing this clearly, right? Yes, no, maybe so. Okay, awesome. All right. So let's play this out. Do you think it would be better to have the pitchfork? You mean on your personal chart? Absolutely, I think so, if that's what you're asking. Oh, you mean you want me to have it on? Okay. Why I don't want to have it on right now is because, as I was saying, Pitchfork, if you're scalping with Pitchfork, you have to be patient. You can't just assume points. So when market opens, you want to watch for price action. Like, yes, I would have a Pitchfork on from the previous day. Let's see if I can turn that on. Because I always have my auto Pitchfork on. So I would have already had these points here. So I would have already had I've already had this pitchfork established from the day before. However, it's not necessarily mean that price will reject here. It could have broken out and continue up. So that's why I want to be patient. So if I was scalping from Thursday, I would have gotten out at the mean. Or at least I would have cut my profits at the mean, and then I would have held my runner until I see what happened, and then I would have sold out of whatever. So now this is opening Friday, right? Or on second thought, like actually this was a perfect bounce on Thursday. So as I was saying, I already have this pitchfork from Thursday. And now this is Friday. Now Friday opened, right? So this pitchfork drawn from Thursday has nothing to do with Friday's pitchfork. And now we're playing out to see how price action works. So I'm gonna play. So there goes the price. So pause right here. So this is a a rule. If you guys watch the video, I believe it's the same video posted above in the premium chat. Price will always retest the mean. So it will go to the mean, and you sometimes will see this retest. So it'll go across and then it will retest, and it might fall faster or it might just bounce. So let's see what happens here. Major bounce, because now it's above the mean. Test it. Okay, so right there is this blue arrow is now my new point. So this is a pretty big rejection. So I am going to use this new point now as my new price action to draw a pitchfork. So I'm going to get rid of this pitchfork that I'm currently using. Go ahead and select my pitchfork. I'm going to pick significant points. I can pick the day before as well. So I pick that point, pick this point, and then I got another one right here. So I immediately draw a pitchfork from this rejection right here in order to tell me where price is going to go. Now let's see where it plays out. Hovering at the mean. So that red, we could have still left this old pitchfork drawn from Thursday point and the first rejection on SPY on Friday. So let's see how this plays out. And I believe this was where I had messaged you guys in the premium and said, price is hovering at the mean and I do not buy at the mean. Because I don't know what you see, all this choppiness at the mean. You never know what's going to go on when price. And this is a lot of cluster. Never buy when you see a lot of cluster like this. This is you assuming, if you're scalping, like if you're on swinging, then it really doesn't matter. You're looking at a whole different time frame. So I don't buy at the mean. Let's see, choppiness at the mean still. Now here is when I would consider getting in, because this has strongly, very strongly broken down below the mean. So I would have probably ridden it. I don't think I did. Ridden this down. But now I can use even this blue arrow point as a different pitchfork point. So I can now use this point here, this point here, and then this one. And I'm going to get rid of everything. So now, select my pitchfork tool. I'm going to use that point, this one, and this one. So this is to tell me where price is going to go. And I'm going to play it out. And SPY was very choppy on Friday. So it was definitely hard to trade. But okay, so that played out everything. So technically, if I had gotten puts all the way up here, I would have been selling right at the mean, or at least trimming most of my position right at the mean. I try to get rid of all my position right at the mean. And then it still continued down. I probably would have been expecting it to hit the bottom of this line, which is roughly 445, but it did not. And we don't know what Monday is going to bring. This could gap down, this could do it, whatever. But this is all intraday trading. So I can't really use intraday to determine what's going to happen on Monday. I would have to go to a bigger time frame. But this is, as I said, Friday was a very, very choppy. So it wasn't really easy trading on Friday, at least on the SPY. Maybe other tickers would have been better. And we can actually go back on SPY. and see some more pitchforks. Get rid of my drawing. I said we can replay all of these. So this is why I like with the zigzag. You see with the zigzag, all these points here, all these dotted lines, these are all pitchfork points that could have been used to trade. I am going to do a replay with one of these zigzags. 28th. So this was 29th. Gap up on the 29th. So let's go ahead and draw from one of these points here. So I'm going to draw this one. This one. We're just going to use this point here. And I am going to replay it. Like the two from here. Okay. So let's see. Play. Hold on, let me pause this because obviously we would not have had this pitchfork yet, so we wouldn't have known all this price action. So the pitchfork we would have had, let's say this was a 28th, SPY gapped up and rejected. So this is already a good point, but you would have already had these points from before. So we're going to use these points from before and this new rejection here. I'm going to redraw this. Let me get rid of. So I have this point, I have this, and I have this first rejection in the morning. Okay. And I am going to rewind from here. Okay. So let's play this. So SPY open, rejected. As soon as it rejected, I'm gonna try to find out where SPY is gonna go. So as soon as I got this rejection, this is 5-minute candle. So this is already what 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes in the market. All right. So we already determined that this is a rejection on the SPY. Where is it gonna go? If I already drew this pitchfork from say 10 minutes in the market, and I trust this rejection, my expectation if I got into puts here is that SPY is going to go to the mean. And this is where if I'm already in puts up here, I am going to start trimming here. And if I, depending on my percentage, if I'm 30%, if I'm 50%, depending on your contracts, if I am up 50%, I have only 3 contracts. I'm selling 2 right here. And I'm keeping 1 as the runner. Because selling 2 at 50%, I already got my money back. And now that 1 is just a free contract to see what's going on. All right, so let's go ahead and play. My thought is that SPY is going to go to the mean. It goes past the mean. I'm trimming my contracts. Decent bounce at the mean. Now I only have runners, so let's see. I never buy at the mean. Now, is this a bounce? Yes, I can use this point, so I'm going to pause. Like a solid bounce, so I could go ahead and use now this point, and this point as my new pitchfork. But I'm only holding runners on my SPY, so let's see what it's going to do. Using Pitchfork is definitely a patient game when you're scalping with it. If you're using other indicators, then yeah, definitely perfect. As you can see, that's now a significant bounce. I still don't know where it's going to go, but this is a bounce from 457 all the way up to almost 460. almost 459 pretty much. Decent bounce. But I've already got my money back. I already got my initial investment out, and I only have a runner. See. Using the same pitchfork already drawn, going right down there. No, not exactly, but almost. This is the auto pitchfork coming in, which I probably need to turn off. As you can see, this pitchfork was drawn from the day before, which is the 28th, and at open. And now this at open 9:30 in the morning. This here is what 1, pretty much 1:30 in the day. The same pitchfork drawn from the day before, pretty much. As I said, at this point, you're only holding runners. But we already established some new points here, so we could have gone ahead and used this point, and this point to see a new pitchfork. So let's go ahead and see what that was telling us. Move drawing. So I'm going to use this one here and this first rejection. These points aren't exactly correct. You have to ensure that your points are exactly on the wick on the candle or definitely on the price. You can't just have it randomly anywhere. So draw, let's see what I'm using here. I'm on the right one. Well, so drawing from this new point, we see relatively good bounce, but it's rejecting going above the mean. When price kind of remain below the mean and does something like this here, to me personally, I think it's weak because it doesn't want to break above the mean. I think it's weak. If it was on the opposite side where it's just roughly just hedging up, I would think it has strength. It doesn't want to break down. Even though it's going up, it's not going parabolic as we expect price to do. But when it does things like this, even though this is still going up, as I said, this is a bounce from 457 all the way to 459, but it's not going along with the pitch. So it's just edging up. Yes, it's making some higher highs, but it's still hovering below the mean. And as you can see, when it fell, it just sold off immediately. Now I can also go ahead and use this new point since I'm scalping for the day. Let's get rid of this point from the previous day. And now have a pitch for today. Which the way price was moving, this price was telling us that hey, SPY seems a little bit weak. Because it was, as you can see, the pitchfork is actually pointing down and not up like the previous day was. So now we have a point because we got this major rejection here where we saw this. So we went ahead and quickly drew our chart on these first couple of candles, right? Because we want to know where price is going to go. It's going to go to the mean. We suspect it's going to go to the mean. So boom, rejection. We got into puts. We're riding it down to the mean. So say roughly we get in at 459. Because obviously you're not going to get in immediately at the top. Like first couple of candles give you confirmation, and they are pretty strong. Okay, you can see these are very pretty strong candles. We got into puts right at 459. We rode it all the way down to the mean at 457. And this is all ODTs. So these are paying. $2 move on Friday at 12 o'clock. Yeah, these are paying. We rode it to the mean. As I said, I trim at the mean. And as you can see, look at that strong bounce right at the mean. This pitch is drawn from 11:45. We probably get in at what 12 o'clock. Now it is at the bottom here. It's 12:30. As soon as it touches the mean, we get out. We trim. Take our money out. Leave runners if we're not sure. Set a stop loss on our runners, right? So if you're up, I don't know, 100% here, you take your money out, right? Set a stop loss at 50% or 75%. I don't know how you do your stop loss. The stop loss as it hits, you're already out. But let's play this, see what happens. Okay, what do we do here? So we have this pitch for the day. Now this has broken out. Okay. I would not buy at the mean, but I would probably get into calls here. But let's see what happens. This is still not a confirmation that it's a real breakout. But let's see if I see a couple more candles, I would get called because this is signifying a breakout of the trend. All right, there's my confirmation. That looks like it's strong, but immediate rejection. And look at that. We're in calls. And mind you, this is so we take call on this candle. So breakout here. We take call on this candle. We probably would have gotten faked out here. Probably. I probably would have gotten faked out because this seemed like a pretty scary candle. But right after a bounce, these are all ODTs. This is what 2 o'clock on a Friday, right? Here, all the way up to here, we're making crazy money right here now. We probably already 150% in the money. So let's see how it continues. So this is us playing the breakout. Nice and easy. These are all runners now. That candle scared me out. I would have gotten out. On this week, I would have on this first week. And I don't only use the pitchfork. I use other tools. So there would be other indicators telling me to get out. But this first one, this first candle, I'd have been watching. And with this wick, I probably would have gotten out already on this wick. So let's see how it played out. Cool. All right. So now I should have rewind to this candle. This here is also a rejection. We can also go ahead and draw a new pitchfork for. This is already 3:30 in the day. All right, I'm going to draw a new pitchfork for that. And this is why I use the auto pitchfork because it will update me. So all along each of these points being made, the auto pitchfork will update itself, and then you will have some new pitchforks. So you won't have to go in and manually draw these pitchforks for everything. You already have it updating. All you have to do is change your time frame if you don't see a perfect one, and then it will change along with it. And I'll go ahead and after this, I'll show you how it works. But let's see. I have this rejection here. I'm going to use this one, and then we got this one. So right here, SPY rejected, and we're going to go ahead and draw a pitch and see what occurs. And as we can see, it went right to the mean, broke down. Let's see how further it went. Pretty much went to the bottom of the, almost to the bottom of the pitchfork. So this is how it plays out for scalping. But as I said, you have to be really patient with this. If you're using other indicators at open, it will definitely be great. Or on larger time frames, like maybe 15 minutes, you could probably use that from day going from one day to the next. But if it's 5 minute, I wouldn't really trust it 100% for a 5 minute, say from Thursday going into Friday. Normally it doesn't necessarily have to obey the pitchfork from one day to the next, because you could have a gap up, you could have a gap down, you can have like some weird news that just change your chart like absolutely crazy. But on larger time frame, it might be different. Let's try a larger time frame. Let's try a 15 minutes. So let's try a 15 minute. And I am going to replay this from here. And let's actually use the auto pitchfork. So here's the auto pitchfork. All right. And let's replay this from before this point was made right here. Okay. These are some random points I'm picking. No, nothing specific. All right. So pitchfork already drawn. All right. This is a 15-minute time frame. So for more extended trading. Okay. Pitchfork already drawn. The last time it was drawn 20 right before market close. This time here is 3:45. All right. SPY closed at the top of the pitchfork. All right. It hasn't been drawn. So SPY closed here pretty much. Right. And here is the open. So SPY open at the mean. So now we're gonna have this point already drawn. Open at the mean. All right. It out perfectly. Went to the bottom of the pitch. Much bounce at the bottom. I'm gonna play it out on a 15-minute. Increase the speed a little bit. See how perfectly this played out. As you can see, this pitchfork was drawn from the last it updated. Oh, because it's the auto pitchfork, you can see that it updated. I think it updated and changed the point, because the point was from here. So as it goes along, it will, as I was saying, the auto pitchfork will auto update the time for you, so you don't have to go in and manually draw your pitchfork every time. As you can see, it's still going along with the pitch. So if you were trading based off the pitchfork, grabbing puts and calls at the top, at the bottom, not at the mean, at the top of the bottom, you'd be doing pretty good. It's changing as it goes along. I went too fast. I'm sorry. Let me go back right here. But as you can see, with all the zigzag, it is still, because all these points were in your pitchfork from the previous points that were drawn. So it's obeying the pitchfork on a larger time frame, but it's also, I'm not saying risky. It's a lot safer trading on a larger time frame. But if you're a day trader, you're not gonna be watching your charts on a 15-minute chart time frame. So here, what we're seeing here is a possible breakout. Okay. All right. So right here, this was the next day. So if you're trading on a 15-minute time frame, right? And this breakout right here was telling you that, and look at the volume too, even though I said I don't really trade on volume. This volume on a 15-minute, this is at close, 1545, right? It broke out of the pitchfork. This here is telling you, hey, I'm going to swing calls into the next day. I'm not going to go heavy, but I'm going to swing calls because it broke out very strongly. Good volume going in. Like, look at all this volume going in. And a breakout of the trend. I'm going to grab some calls going into the next day. What happened the next day? A gap up. And we already went through how this gap up played off. It immediately sold. Sold off. Sold off. And then we had a crazy bounce all the way up to the top. But just look on the auto pitchfork as it goes along. You can see it changing. Let me bring the chart down. So you can see the auto pitchfork just changing, adjusting to the chart, making new points. So I'm sorry. Let me go back a little bit. So 15 minutes we're trading on, right? SPY broke down below the trend. What are we gonna do? We're gonna get puts. Probably would have got scared out with this big 15-minute candle right here. I probably would have, but it still didn't go back into the trend. It continued down, and look what happened afterwards. It just strictly sold off. Selling off nonstop. Now, there we go. So you can see the dotted line now is here. It's a new point because this is a bounce. So you can go ahead and draw a new point, but I believe the candle should go ahead. Pitchfork should go ahead and auto update. If it does not, you can go ahead and change the time frame. Let's go ahead and change it to a 30-minute. Oh, it has a different time. It's still not in it. So if you were trading on a 30-minute, you would have taken puts at this break of the trend. This is a 30-minute candle all the way down. But you'd have probably gotten in somewhere on this 30-minute time frame, 454 or 450, whatever. You would have sold your puts all the way at the bottom, I assume. All right. But this is a 30-minute time frame now, so you can go back and forth with your time. This is the 1 hour. The pitchfork should adjust itself. And these longer time frame are better. They're better for longer for swings. So that's why I like to swing, because I use pitchfork. That pitchfork did not adjust to the time. So you just go ahead and change your time until your pitchfork actually matches your chart. So none on the larger time frame. If you don't see a perfect pitchfork for your time, you can manually go ahead and pick your fractal points. We're gonna go back to the 15 minutes, or sometimes I use a 10-minute. I don't think anybody uses the 10-minute time interval on their chart, but I do because I use pitchfork. So sometimes when I don't see a perfect pitch, I'll just change between time frames, and a 10-minute is also a time frame I use. Let's see how that plays out. So here we have a very significant bounce. So these three candles to me, these three candles here are a pretty significant bounce for me per se. What makes this a good fractal point is we have this pretty much bearish candle along with this indecisive doji and this big bullish candle. So perfect bounce on the support here, and it could be a major support. Let's see what this is. Yeah, 448, 449. You know, there was a major bounce on support on SPY there. But as I said, using other indicators. So we could go ahead and draw a manual pitchfork Or we could change our time frame to see if we can actually get a pitchfork that is attached to this point. And there we go. So as I was saying, I use my 10 minutes as well. There we go. It perfectly picked that point. So if I rewind to about a third candle here, it's not gonna pick it. I have to manually do it probably. Spray. Go ahead and pick the point. All right, it's not auto adjusting to it. Okay, there it goes. So it took a little while for it to change for this one. Took it on the bounce actually. But let's see where this is going. Right to the top of it. Broke out pretty strongly. So break out of the trend. We're going to take call. Rejection. Use the seat. Adjusted now. Now I'm expecting this to come down to the bottom. Let's see if it does. We're in at the mean. There we go. Look at that. I already called it. I expected as soon as the pitchfork adjusted, I said I'm expecting it to come to the mean. I'm trimming my position if I had gotten puts up here. I'm holding runners. I'm expecting it to go down to the bottom of the trend. Perfectly did that. Broke out of the trend. Let's see if it continues down or it bounces up. Went down a little bit further. Not too much. But now the pitchfork already adjusted. I didn't want it to adjust there. This is why sometimes I manually draw my pitchfork. But as it goes day to day, it wouldn't matter really if you're trading day to day, because it adjusting for intraday is just perfect for you instead of you just holding some stuff long term. But as we see here, a breakout here, we already know it's good for calls. So we would have been in call right here on this breakout, and this pitchfork was already drawn from a couple. This was drawn from what, 3 o'clock previous day. This breakout is roughly 2 o'clock on the other day. Coming up, but still rejected. But just look how keenly the pitchfork just adjusts to the price action and just gives you easy enough direction. They're not like perfect, but I think if you follow them, you won't be too wrong on it. That brings us to that. Let me stretch a little bit. Well, that's me using Pitchfork. This is a 10-minute candle right here showing SPY on Friday. Pitchfork was drawn from pretty much 3:40 the day before on Thursday to 12 o'clock, pretty much 12:20 on Friday. And SPY went to the mean, or at the mean, then broke down. Expecting 445, so that's why on Friday EOD I was saying, hey, I just expect SPY to dump. It did give that ridiculous wick. Monday, let's see what could be expected on Monday. I haven't been following any news yet, but let's see. This is the 30-minute, so we're just going to change some time intervals and see what we can see. So on the 30-minute, pretty much it's showing a bounce from the bottom of the trend up to the mean, a hover at the mean, retest off the mean. And pretty much, yeah, on the 30 minutes, it's even showing price kind of touched the bottom of the mean and close right above it. So we could see like a gap up. We could see a gap down. Obviously, um, market only goes two direction, up or down. I am not a guru, so I can't tell you where SPY is gonna go. But from the chart, 30-minute chart, I can't tell you anything because price is right at the mean. I don't buy at the mean. I want to see either the top of the trend line or the bottom of the trend line for perfect entries. Those are my perfect entries. Let's see the 1 hour, 2 hour. Okay. Okay. So 2 hour chart wasn't a bad swing from March to 29th. Decent rejection. And the 4 hour. All right, so daily and 4 hour won't show you anything specific. I will have to manually draw this chart. Let me get rid of my volume. Oh, hold up. Hold on a second, guys. Wait just a quick second. All right. So, looking at this chart here, um, Pitchfork is not showing anything. I do have here though point shown by this dotted line here. So what I'm going to do is manually draw a pitchfork. So when your pitchfork does not update itself, there should be a way to do it, but I don't know yet. I need to research that, how to let it update to the current zigzag. I don't know why. Sometimes it just sticks to the one behind it. But I'm just going to go and manually draw one. Let me get my magnitude to make sure my points are correct. Okay. So I had already shared this chart in the group from a couple of days ago. You know, so SPY was running, decent rejection here, so I'd already went ahead and drew this pitchfork for it. The next day it came down, but bounced because I was expecting it to go to the mean. All right. Still kind of confident it might test the mean, but these candles don't look too bad. Uh, well, let me check my other indicators. Currently below 15 EMA, not above and above the 23. This is a 4-hour chart, looking a lot better than the daily chart, I believe. Showing that we're sitting below the 23 EMA. We have EMAs kind of squeezing right here. I believe that if we actually open Monday, kind of, well, what time is it? Oh, 7. Today's Saturday, not Sunday, so future's not open. If we open red, I believe we can actually below these wicks, we can actually retest the mean. And I think I had shared that my price target for SPY, if it is bearish, is actually 437, which is roughly at the mean right here. Let me double check something. No idea if it's being recorded. I am not recording it. Haha. Okay. But if we don't see a bounce above the 15 EMA, I believe we need to take out what is that price? Let me check this price here. Take these major pivots. Last we got 47, we closed. So 38.2 is 49.30, and 450 is the first resistance point. Then we have another retracement at 450. So 38.2, we have 49.30 and 450. Let me go ahead and mark those points. That is actually, oh, the wick did went over it. As high as 450.68. Yeah, 450.63. Friday's high. I am going to set some alerts on these points. One. So I am gonna create. I have an alert set here on the 38.2 pivot point for calls above that for a run to 450.63, which was Friday's recent high. High of the day, I mean. And then above that, maybe we can test higher. Below, let's see. All right, let me put it around. So we have 45, 40, 445, 46, which is roughly what? His low was 445.94. First support is 446, so I'll set it to that. So I want a horizontal line at 445. I'm going to set an alert to that one. Puts. Puts below 445.60. I want calls above. Is that? So with this, you got to be really patient and careful. You got to play price action, or if you're a fundamental type of guy, you follow the news and such, then obviously that pushes the market. But below, these are the alerts I'm setting right now. Currently for price action on SPY coming Monday. Below 445.60, I will consider getting into puts. Above 449.30, I will ride calls to 450.60. And then above 450.60, then we'll see if SPY will push to go higher. Those are my caution points right here. I'm just setting right now. And I'm just drawing the lines. I should probably give them some different colors. I'm going to give this one a purple larger. Green. I want a little thinner. Okay. So that's just for SPY. All right. Those are just for day trades, though. But if SPY gets below this 445.60, I think we can see that 437 real soon. Um, okay, let's go over some other charts, guy. I've been rambling on long enough. All right. Anybody want to bring up some chart they want to review? Why we went out on those charts? Anything? Any requests? This is Oxy chart right here. Chart is beautiful. Shop. Oof, nasty. I don't like the daily on this because the daily is showing some really big price targets. I was just gonna go to the daily and I was gonna go with the pitchfork. This is showing a real big curve. So let's go down to some smaller time frame and see if we can get some better picture from this. Show you the 4 hour. Oh, 4 hour is a lot better. You have one, three. Oh, you got a back button up top up here, guys. If you guys ever delete something accidentally, you can go back. This is what I want to delete. All right. So this is the 4 hour chart showing all across the mean already. So if I can get below this green line, which should be my which line is this again? This is a price target of roughly 598. Shop when shop was on its way up. When was it? Last weekend or last week? Sometime last week. All right. And my price target was 716 and 727. I believe that same Monday, right after it hit our price target, and well, it actually went higher to 7 40. Rejected, went all the way to 755. Hold on a second, guys. All right, to me, this looks like shop is perfectly going down to the mean though. Showing strong strength down. 9 EMA already crossed the 23 EMA. That probably should have been some sign to get in if whoever was playing that. That was on the 6th. Perfect entry. Matter of fact, perfect entry was the gap down before that. Right, before it touched the mean. You just played it right before it got to the mean. Premier position. But currently, from this alone is showing that it wants to touch the bottom of the trend, and probably we already had two bounces. Close this. Already had that rejection there. We got that bounce there as well. So twice. So the bottom. Support 588, 573. It's not giving me any retracement here. What are the retracement that you have, Silva? These are just all showing me supports. Do you have any retracement levels on this one? 567. Okay. So 567. Point. Clusters. Let's see. You got clusters here. Roughly around of that is 574. The cluster here at roughly 577. And the bottom of that cluster is roughly 544. That's the previous clusters. It's already sitting at what? Right now it's sitting at roughly 602. Do have a little bit of price action here. So you got to get into all these candles where you see a little bit of some small support and resistance. I call them clusters, where you don't see like crazy candles going up or going down. As you can see up and down right here. A little bit of cluster, a little tiny bit of cluster right here, and it extends all the way over here, as you can see. So you can see this cluster tends to be not necessarily strong off of support or resistance, but you do have a little bit of cluster. And let's see if we go across a little bit more, if it extends more. No, we'd have to probably go way across. But Silva is saying 567 on a short term, the bottom of the trend, 543, 542. So pretty much here is giving me 546, 573, matter of fact, 588, 573, and 546 on the downside. If you don't currently sitting at 602 or 604, if it breaks below this little bit of cluster right here, watch for the cluster to test the 573 level and the 544. But on a picture of the 4 hour, following the Pitchfork technique and the EMAs is showing a bearish move for it on the downside because it's already below the 9 EMA, below the 23 EMA very strongly. And 9 EMA is pretty close to the candle, so you could see a big move from it all the way down. So watch that 577 level per se. And if below that, bottom of the trend, and then test off these two big support points. So we have here a roughly 512 and 509 roughly on the downside. Already below the mean, so it's already looking on a strong move down. And I do not see, let me check the weekly. Very bearish candle on the weekly. So yeah, watch the bottom of this support to be tested again. Bearish market, we absolutely see this week. The bottom of the trend there. Support. Hopefully not a break. And earnings is in May. So pretty far out. Yeah, I see short term 574, 577 between 572 and 574 on this one. Gosh. Okay, let's see this retracement. 567. Oh, nice, nice. Okay. And that is the, so it already broke, okay, 0.786. Yeah, okay, it's good. I agree with you. Yep. And the next chart is AMD. Okay, so this one, I believe the first or second time we started live, I had art. So this chart is already still drawn. Someone had asked me about AMD, and I said it was already right here, I believe. I told them if it cannot break this level here, it's gonna sell off. And if I bring the pitchfork up, because I stick to my pitchfork and EMAs. Yeah. At the bottom of this support though. However, this is what, one, two, three. If you're not already holding a position on this, I would say do not jump the gun on it and try to determine if it's time for a bounce. Personally, I've missed out on plays because I waited too long for the bounce. Like I wait for confirmation. I like to wait for confirmation. Like you see these candles here, get a good green day like this one, bring it up to the 90 EMA or the 15 EMA to 108. Then you can say, hey, boom, I'll go play it until 117. But it is pretty nice sitting at the bottom of this support. Really nice. Looks perfect for call. I had called it last week and I said I wanted to see AMD at 102. It is now at 101. It had, I believe on Monday, it faked us out, right? Because the market seemed bullish on Monday. I believe it was Monday. It seemed like it wanted to go up, but I had a better fork than this one. Let me draw a new one. These points here. Auto. So rejected the trend. So boom, strong rejection. Puts shot across the mean. Now on the downside. So we could see lower. Is this pitchfork is showing a downside and it's saying that it could go lower. But here is also a strong support for AMD. It has always been bouncing here multiple times. As you can see, it extends across too. Very, very important level here for AMD. So it actually might be a decent bounce for it, but I also believe tech goes along with market sentiment. So if market is selling off and it's not like a tech rally, then this could really drop. And if I believe if AMD gets below this level right here, then it's death. Um, all these techs move alike still. So looking on AMD, you're probably looking on all the other chips. But strong support here. I would definitely. It might be worth putting on the watch list. It is at a really strong support level. Watch it to see if it breaks below. And below that is what, 99 pretty much. Let me check. expect a bounce. I I wouldn't say I expect a bounce for AMD because selling off. I think it might sell off as well. I don't think most of the stocks here. I don't think they are moving individually. I think everything is going up with the general market, and there's a lot of fundamentals in view right now. So you're gonna show her right now. Yeah. So everything is going like in a general direction. You could watch for a bounce. I said if it bounces and gets above the 15 EMA of 108, 106, 108, then maybe. All right, let's see what Silver has. See his retracement levels. Here you go. Mhm. Now, when is earnings for this? All the way in May. So yeah, AMD looks like if it breaks, I'll just watch it. If it breaks below this level, 99, then yeah, watch it go all the way down to previous levels. Takes out here. Really have some levels here. So 99 is a really strong level here. Very strong level. We even got some resistance up here. So watch that 99 level. Or break below that, then yeah. I would not jump the gun and get calls on this one. I would wait for confirmation first. Because it definitely has more downside. Tesla. Be careful with that AMD. Are you holding calls? Are you holding calls? Who asked about AMD? Okay. Okay. All right, good. All right, so wait for confirmation if there's a bounce. If there's a tech rally, then yeah, it will be perfect to get it at the bottom. If not, see a sell off on it. And let me just look on another one of the techs. Really pushes the others. All looking the same. Yeah. So all these techs are looking the same. We could just use NVIDIA to graph all the other chips. Lead downside and see looking on NVIDIA right here. This is showing a lot more downside to 208. And look at these EMAs right here. It's about squeezing 9 and 15 about to cross below the 23. So this is even normally this would be a great signal for me to get into puts. Matter of fact, let me check something else. Yeah, already below Nvidia sitting below the 50 day moving average. So yeah, not looking too good on chips. Getting multiple signals here to short this. We should have been shorting chip for a while now. I didn't set the indicator here. see this one. The weekly, daily. Watch for a retest of 208. Are you? Are you talking? Yeah, our stuff isn't new. Probably you guys set in. All right, Tesla. Tesla. Going with this inside bar strategy here. Friday's close was a really nice inside bar on Tesla. Meaning, just going with this inside bar, outside bar strategy. The TW Golden indicator. This is saying that an open Monday of Tesla below this inside bar candle is an indication to get puts. Yeah, this strategy is saying if we get a price action opening below this inside bar on Monday, so that means if price opens below 1025.49, just gonna put it lower. And I am going to add an alert to this one. Let's below 25.40. I am going to create that alert. Let's go to the charts. Tesla. Try some other time frame. Daily's already showing price action below the mean. Looking good on the downside. Well, let's get some more price target here. Let me try the 15-minute. I think we are going to day trade this one. Nice. Here we go. First price 1021, or roughly 1024, I believe.
Hello.
Already, yeah, I'm hearing you.
Okay, good.
So 1021 for 69 on the 15-minute time frame. And I have 1009 67 on the bottom of the trend for a 15 minutes. This is intraday. This is pretty much 15 minutes swinging into intraday. So say for instance you were swinging on Friday and you already grabbed puts somewhere up here. Your price target sitting at 1025. Drop off the week at 1021. and then 1009. Let's see something else. Stirred out. So it's been resisting falling below the support for a while, as you can see here. It's been kind of up and down, but it's still on a little downtrend. First, we had a gap here as well, roughly 1009, and that is what the 50-minute chart was saying. It dropped to 1009, which would technically fill this gap that we have here. So that looked like a possibility if the market is bullish. If the market is bearish, I mean. What if we get a bounce? Let's see. Say first, watch this 1021 line. If we break below that, let's look for 1009. Ain't nothing to sell. I'm looking for a break of 1021 and for a drop to 1009 Tesla. Look, that looks possible. 15 minutes.
So if you look for that, what put would you get? Like what strike price?
Sorry.
What strike price would you be looking at?
Right price. You're day trading, so and you're working with a small account, so
Just leave it alone. Got it.
uh, I don't technically mess around with Tesla, as I think Bobby had said. Like those large caps, I don't really play them. Versus, matter of fact, on Fridays, because then you get them like cheap, cheap, cheap. But you can go ODTs because there will be a lot of it. I mean, out of the money because there'll be a lot safer since you have time if you're trading on Monday. And assuming Tesla drops, just continues dropping, then the volatility will work on your side. But then if it's up and down like here, then it will kill your premium if you're far out of the money. So it's a lot better to get in the money when you're like Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, or closer to the money, not in the money, but closer to the money when you're like trading from Monday to Wednesday. But when you hit Thursdays and Fridays, like you have to be careful with the volatility because this up and down movement can really kill your premium. You will see that you're up like maybe I don't know 50%, and then like just a little drop or a little bounce, and then you're down like 70-80% from being up 50%. But yeah, this looks good for a drop if it breaks the line of 1021 though.
I set an alert for it just in case, but
And then just watch that level. If it resists that level, we can like expect a bounce. But that's if it resists. If it bounce at support right here. Because that 1009 does look pretty strong over here as well. If you go below like 998 around this cluster level right here. We do have some clusters here, so you can't expect like a little up and down. Market is really selling, then watch for a big sell off on it. But Jesus is really better at telling you the Tesla levels. This is just going with what I use. He studies Tesla a lot better, a lot more, and trades it like every day. So definitely better to. Okay.
thank you.
All right. A second, guys. Um, I'm just gonna run through how I set up my pitchfork just for the last time, and then jump off, and then end the live real quick, just so you guys familiar with it. Yes, I am. I took it on his call out. The chart looks good. Again, the indicator is auto pitchfork, fib retracement, and zigzag. You do not need a subscription on TradingView to get it. Let's see something real quick. Uh, you might need an account. I'm not sure, but you can sign up for TradingView for free.
Is this a good idea for them to get a real
So,
time quotation?
huh? For what?
Real time quotation. I mean, for TradingView.
Yes, you have a subscription for that.
Yeah, I don't know whether they should get that if they trade on a TradingView.
Oh, so it's the
It's not super expensive as I remember.
oh, it's like I think like $24 for the year.
Yeah. So
Real time, you're talking, right?
yeah, that's right. That's right.
Thing, you, but the thing you'd have to for multiple. So like the New York Stock Exchange might be $24, but then like the Nasdaq will also be $24. So they separate them.
Yeah. So for people who decide to trade on TradingView, we suggest you can think about subscribing the real time quotation. Yep. Thank you.
I believe. Let's see if I can find it here. Honey, you can leave those. Yeah, no. Okay. Where do I find that? Yep, it's just breaking out. That's why I like it too. Let me go back to try. I'll have to find that and send it to you guys. The Pitchfork is not showing that it's breaking out yet, and that's because it's in a upward trend. But from previous support, like yeah, it has. Uh, soon as it gets above this 1967, I'm expecting some big candles on it. It's a pretty decent, pretty good call out. And the weekly looks really good too. This is the weekly chart. Looking even better. Yeah, very good call. Not sure how fast it can get up to the top of here, 2152. Is then these moving averages are pretty spread out already. if it was like sitting on the 9 EMA, and I would be a little bit more optimistic it would move faster. But yeah, it's a very decent call. See if we get a gap up on it. That'll be nice. But yeah, guys, let me just run through this real quick. Yeah. Indicator call auto pitchfork, fib retracement, and zigzag by DGTRD. That's the indicator. And by applying it, you can do some changes to it. Going into settings, you can double click, you can just right click on it. I have the deviation set to 3.5. You can also leave it at 3.0, that's fine. I like to use shift, but you can change between shift and original. Just change for it to match your chart. So changing to original here, you see a different chart, a different pitchfork for different points. So obviously that does not take into consideration these candles here. And I like shift because shift kind of incorporates the corrections in the market compared to original. Original tends to want to go in one direction when the major fractal points are pointing one way. That shift. I have the background turned off because it just makes the chart looks a little cleaner. Depending on your background for your entire trading view, it could be white. Maybe it's clear on a white background. I'm not sure. Let's see. Yeah, maybe the color is better. Maybe having the background on a white background helps. I don't know. I use a dark theme, so I get rid of the background color. This makes the chart looks a little cleaner to me, in my opinion. I also have recently, I did not have the price showing for the Pitchfork, but I actually do like seeing the price. So change it from, I believe it's normally on levels. So change the Pitchfork level labels from levels to either none or prices, or you can do levels and prices. I don't know what the levels. I believe the levels are like no, they're not. I don't know what the levels are for, or whatever. I keep mine on prices because then it show what price the each of these lines are showing. So that's a really nice feature. It does take up a little spot on your chart, but it's not too much. This won't be checked on the setting, which is the extended lines. So what that does is laptop is moving a little bit slow here. I have too many things running in the background here. So the extended lines. So the extended lines just goes through all the chart instead of just cutting it off at the point that was drawn. So as you can see, there's no lines extending all the way out. So I like to leave the extended lines on. There you go. I only keep the 0.5 and 1 available. But if you want like really closer price target, you can do like the 0.382, and that will attach a line to your chart. The 0.618. So those will just give you different price targets on your chart if you like those. It's like the retracements. I just work with the 0.5 and the 1 for just major price movement. Zigzag, I keep on because I want to see like other fractal points. So this is where I was mentioning you can see previous major points you can use to manually draw your pitchfork. Turning on your zigzag, I just put it on a dotted line so it's not as prominent as the other points. Leave it on whatever line you want, solid line, but then solid and too much for me. Um, I have the Fibonacci tool turned off. When you select it, it will be on, and this is just giving you fib lines. If you also use fib, it's really great to have it, but I am not good at using fib, so we already have silver for that. So I turn that off, but if you want to use it, you can have it on, or you can just manually draw your own fib lines. So everything for that is turned off. I don't think there's any other settings. Mess with here. No. But you do have all the Fibonacci tool and lines you can have placed on the chart as well for more accurate price targets. That's pretty nice. And you play around with your own colors. Nothing, I don't mess with the depth. The depth is 11. Nothing in style. Pretty much that's it for the tool. As I said, if you wanted to match your chart, you can just go ahead and change your time frame and it will auto update for you. So that is the Pitchfork. And I say just watch the video, the small video. It was posted in the premium chat earlier today. So you guys can check it out. It was roughly about, I don't know, roughly 10 minutes or so. I don't know. But check it out. It was a really informative video and it's a really simple tool to use. I don't think you guys will regret having it on your chart. No problem. With that, guys, I am going to be off. See you guys Monday.